guys, welcome back to a new episode of Laps and Yaps. Today I'm joined by GB4 driver Caitlyn McDaniel. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. One off day from college, so nice to something else.
Yeah, it must be great.
Yeah. Do you want to begin by just giving like an overview of how your racing career has been, like what you've done so far?
Yeah, so I started racing, I think I first stepped foot in a go-kart back in 2023, so quite recent, to be honest with you, like late 2023. And then I just did the Jamie Chadwick series at Daytona Motorsport. I did about, I think, 5 or 6 rounds of that. I didn't do the full series. So that was about like 6 months of rental karting, and then I had my own kart that I would basically take out on the side. I think I did that like probably 15 times, where I would just go to like Rye House or something and do a day of karting basically.
Yeah.
But I didn't compete in owner karts. And then last year I tested the old GB4 car, and then I just decided to race this year for it. So it's been quite a steep progression over the past
So that's different. That's like what, 2 years? Whereas everyone else I speak to is like, yeah, when I was like 2011. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, 2 years.
Good. Doing GB4 in 2 years, I think that's good. How was like the GB4 season?
I think it was a bit of a struggle. I didn't do as much testing as I wanted to beforehand, but I think for my first, that was my first full season racing. Like last year, I didn't even compete in a full season of racing. So to go from it being not only like my first season in cars, but like my first season racing was kind of like crazy. So it was a bit difficult at the beginning, but I don't know. I think it turned out well. I mean, I got a top 15, so that's like all I could have asked for, I think. But yeah, I think it was a good learning year, and then I'm excited to see what I do next year.
Yeah, cool. How did the opportunity to race in GB4 just like come about?
So it was actually really, really crazy. I wasn't even planning on doing the season. And if I was probably going to jump in around like Snetterton or something. So about mid-season. But it was the night before the Donington round, like the night before quali. And I was there testing the car on the Thursday and Friday. So I had no plan on racing at all, let alone like that weekend. But yeah, so it was like a debate that we were having. We were like, I mean, I was quite close to the pace. Of course, my pace kind of dropped mid-season. I had a few health issues, a few injuries that made it a bit challenging. But my pace was quite good, especially for it being like I think my second time at Donington. Yeah. So we were like, might as well just start now. So I literally decided on doing the race. I think it was like 14 hours before quali, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So it was crazy. I went from like having no plan on racing to like literally 14 hours later being in the car ready for quali. It was crazy.
That's crazy. That is mad, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think like, from saying so you said like 14 hours, do you think you were like really nervous because of like, or were you not too nervous?
I think I think because I had done the test days beforehand, like it was like, I wasn't as nervous, but I remember like that Thursday going into my first like, I guess like official test session on a race weekend. I was so nervous. I remember lining up to go outside, and I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, should I just turn around? Like, I was like debating, like maybe I should just get out of line and just leave. But I was like, I mean, I got to do it once, and then it'll be easy for the rest of my career. And yeah, I mean, ever since then, I mean, I do get nervous when I go to qualify, because that's like probably my weakest point on a weekend, because I'm really, really, really bad at sort of firing up, but quality's probably my weak point. But yeah, I mean, nothing will ever compare to those nerves the first time I went out for like quali at that Donington round. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous.
Well, I can't actually even imagine what it'd be like, but yeah. Just like what started your racing journey? I think kind of answered that in my first question, but
yeah, so I've always been into cars ever since I saw the movie Cars. I feel like it's like one of the pipelines that you get in motorsports.
Start of the line, yeah.
Yeah, so I got into it. My dad is like sort of like a car guy, but we didn't really heavily watch motorsports. I mean, I did for many, many years, but like my family is not really like a motorsports family. Like, no offense to my mom, who can probably hear me right now, but like, oh my gosh, she's so lost at the racetrack, but she's so supportive, and I just love her for it. But so I mean, that kind of like fueled my addiction, and then like come like I don't know, maybe like 2018, I started heavily watching it like on weekends and everything, F1, Indy, like literally anything I could get my hands on, I would watch. And then it was sort of at a point in sort of college where I was like, I don't really know what I want to do with my life. Like, I was taking acting classes, and that's something I was really passionate about, but I was like, I don't really know what I want to do. I don't think I want to do that straight out of college. So I was like, maybe I'll try racing. And then I tried karting, and then I loved it, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do right now.
Am I right thinking you lived in the UK, or you did live? You do live.
But I lived in the UK for 4 years before, like around 4 years before I started racing. I think my first race was April 2024. That was my first open race, like not even like a semi-competitive rental race. That was like my first ever like arrive and drive open race. And I lived in the UK for about 4 years before that. And I'm back now just helping my parents move, and then I should be back in the UK on Friday.
Yeah. Okay, so then what is like culture shocks you've had like living in the UK?
No, I don't know. I think being back here now, it's making me realize how like much I miss, I guess, like the open roads. I know you guys have open roads there, but like that, and like I don't even know. Like, I know some people have like think it's way different, but I think because I moved here when I was like 13, 14, I didn't really like go outside before that, and I moved in the middle of COVID, so it was a bit a bit difficult. But maybe like I didn't even know. I guess like that it's easier to get healthier food there. Like, when I've been here for like the past week, I'm like, I literally want to eat everything, like no matter how unhealthy it is. But in the UK, I have like a really good diet and everything. So just being able to like, I guess, the accessibility to like healthy foods, at least, is like night and day between the two countries.
This is like change of pace again. How did you prepare for each new track this year?
So unfortunately, I moved 4 times during the season, which is crazy. Yeah, I was in my place that I'd been for 4 years, I think up until just before the Olin weekend. And then I moved 3 other times in the UK. So I didn't have my sim, and my sim broke actually before the start of the season. So I don't have a simulator anymore. So for me, it was mainly about just getting like a lap, just seeing like an onboard lap, and then going from there. That's the most I could have done kind of at that point in my life where I was living. I wasn't like, for most of the season, I wasn't in the best place. I mean, I was sleeping on like a couch, like a leather couch for like race weekends and stuff like that. It was not good. I couldn't cook because the kitchen didn't work and everything, but it was a nightmare. So, I mean, basically just like getting as much information as I can from those like onboard laps is kind of how I prepared. Luckily, I think I did do every track. Like, I had a track day at every track before the race weekend. So that definitely did help me. So I wasn't like going in blind. Like, I know some people didn't do the brands test, and then they had to show up to brands on the race weekend in quali, their first time ever driving like the brands GP, which is crazy. Luckily, I did do the test, so I had like some idea of where I was going. But it was basically just like consuming as much information as I possibly can before the race week, and like going over stuff. Like, if I had like a previous test lap from that, I would compare that to the onboard lap that I have. I would compare to Holly's data, who was my teammate this year, just to the areas that I can find like a few extra tenths and everything like that. So it's just about consuming as much information, and sort of, I think the test days are really important as well, because like that's kind of your opportunity to make mistakes right before quali, which is something I struggled with, where I wouldn't really push in quali. But yeah, just making sure I maximize sort of all my time to prepping.
Which was your favorite track this year?
Oh, I have like a tie for 3. I love Brands. I think Brands is just such a unique and amazing track. I hated it when we did the first test day back in, I think it was April. It was wet. We were out there with British F4, so I think there was 43 of us on track.
Yeah. Oh god, that'd been a lot. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
It was crazy. It was also like my first proper time driving in the wet with other people around. So it was kind of,
yeah.
and it was like, it was also like one of my, not my first test day, but like, it was up there with like one of like my first times being in the car properly.
Yeah.
So it was terrifying for me, and it was wet, and I was like, oh, I never want to come back here. Like, this is awful. But the race weekend is what made it like so special. Like racing on it, it's like nothing I think I'll ever experience. It's such a unique track. But I think Olton still holds my heart. I have a special place in my heart for Olton, even though it's where I had my shunt. My one big crash of the season was at Olton. But I think probably a tie between Brands, Olton, and Silverstone. I think that's, you can't really beat Silverstone, I don't think, for racing at least.
No, I love Silverstone. I'm always there. Silverstone, it's like GB4 or GB, whatever it is at Silverstone, I'm there. Just such a good track.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. But then, what style of track best suits you?
So I think for me, I do quite well at Donington. I think that's my best track. I don't know why. I know that I struggle quite a lot with circuits that have quite long corners just because of the strength issue. I didn't start training for the GB4 season until after the first Silverstone round.
Okay.
So 2 rounds in, and I started going to the gym. Because again, I hadn't planned on racing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like had been, I guess, physically preparing for months on end. But I started like 2 months into the season. But I think Snetterton is definitely the track that suits me the least, just because it's so physically challenging for me. But I think tracks like Donington and to some extent Brands, I think if I had a bit more confidence at Brands and if I wasn't fully injured, I think Brands could have been a good weekend for me. So I think those sort of tracks where it's like, I honestly don't know. I don't know why Donington is my best track. Like I'm thinking about it now and it's like by far my best track and I have no idea why.
Do you think of yourself as like a role model to young females in karting or young girls?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that, especially being like a person of color, I have like, I don't know, something to prove. I don't know, like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you don't see many like women of color racing, let alone women like racing in like high categories. So I feel like to some degree I would like to be a role model. I don't know if I would be the best role model, but I'd like to think that I'm a pretty good person. But yeah, I mean, I've had a few interactions with like young girls in karting when I was still karting, and it's like it was such like to see like these young girls like karting like age like 5 and 6. It's just amazing, and I wish I would have started when I was 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But I wanted to. Like my parents were like, we were talking about doing it, but like we just didn't. I mean, I live in like the middle of nowhere when it comes to racing. I think the nearest track is like 3 hours away.
Oh,
so
cool.
yeah, so it wasn't really something that we could do. And again, I don't come from a motorsport family, so to see these young girls being able to, I guess, start their passion so early on in life, I would like to be like they can get to GB4 one day too.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Okay. Now I've got the 2 questions I ask all like GB drivers. If you could race in any series apart from F1, what would it be and why?
I would either do probably WEC or IMSA. I think if I was racing in the States. Yeah. I don't know. I think WEC, I love the idea of endurance racing.
Yeah.
And I think it would be something, I would also like to race GTs as well. But honestly, anything I can race in.
And then, who on the GB4 grid would you trust to pet sit for you?
So I saw Jason's answer. Yeah. It was me. So I think I'll have to go with Jason as well. He's definitely who I talk to most on the grid.
Yeah.
He said he has, what did he say? He had cats and dogs. I think he said he had both.
He had a lot, but they're in his house in America, so.
Yeah. Mine, I don't know where my dog is now, but I have like a little black and white dog. He's like this big,
Oh,
so cute. His name is Ollie, but I probably would trust Jason. I think. I know he
yeah.
said he would trust me, but I think I would trust Jason. I think he'd be, if not Jason, then probably Flame.
Okay.
Um, She's definitely who I talk to most besides Jason on the grid. I feel like I would
Yeah.
be comfortable letting my dog be with her as well. But Jason probably top choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I had like people on my Instagram send questions and actually got quite a few. So how old were you when you started racing?
So I think well, I was 16, literally 2 days before my 17th birthday.
Okay.
So 16, basically. Yeah.
Who has been your biggest inspiration?
In motorsports, probably Lewis. I feel like that's a basic answer, but probably Lewis Hamilton or maybe Jamie Chadwick. I would say for like how much she's done, especially when she was in Indy, NXT, and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, probably my two main inspirations for what I do.
What is the weirdest question someone at track has asked you?
I actually haven't been asked any weird questions. Like I can't even think of one that like made me like even semi uncomfortable. Like I just get asked like funny stuff, and I quite appreciate that because on a race weekend, like I think the last thing I want to do is like have a really in-depth conversation about like how I got into racing. Like I'm fine doing it outside of race weekends, but on a race
Yeah.
weekend, I just want to be asked like something really random, like something really really crazy and random because it just takes the edge off a bit. I think the only question that tripped me up was I think first time at Donington. So like around yeah, first race weekend at Donington. I think someone asked me like if I could be an animal, what would I be? And I honestly had no idea how to respond to that. Like I think I'd just gotten out the car or something like that, but I was like, my mind was elsewhere. I was not thinking about anything. So I think I told her like a giraffe or something like that. And it was like, I don't even like giraffes. Like I have no idea why I said that. It was something really, really weird. And I felt so bad after because like, I think I sent her like a comment on like TikTok or something. And it was like, you tripped me up so bad with that question. I had no idea like how to respond because it was so random. And it's probably the most out there thing I've been asked. But I would really like to be asked like something crazy. I think I would have fun with that.
I like asking like so when I did my British 4, I did like two serious questions and I did like a stupid question and I just like it. I feel like you'd like to get more involved if it's like a stupid question because you're
Yeah,
like it's different.
yeah, I enjoy like the silly random questions. Yeah.
Yeah. If you weren't a race driver, what would you do instead?
I would probably be in uni right now studying theater arts or
Nice.
acting. I'm planning on doing some uni courses, like some uni short courses
Yeah.
this year, next year, throughout it. So I'll be doing that, or I've been really into triathlons recently. So I'm training for some right now. So I'd either
Nice.
be like a triathlete or an actor. I'd probably be an actor to be honest with you. It's been what I've been doing for most of my life. So
What like stage show would you most want to star in?
ooh, I think Wicked would
Mhm.
probably be like the ultimate one. That's how I got into theater when my parents took me when I was like really, really young. I think it was somewhere like up up north in America, but they took me to see Wicked, and I thought it was so cool, and I was like, this is so cool. And then I was like asking to like go to theater programs and like getting like theater books, and it just kind of like ignited my love for the theater. I can't sing, so we would have to work around that. I think I can dance pretty good, but I can't sing, so
Okay.
I'll have to get me a coach. But probably Wicked, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then what is one interview question you wish you would be asked?
So this leads back to like I just want to be asked
Mm.
something like absolutely insane, like something crazy that no one else would think of. An interview question that I would like to be asked. Hmm. Honestly, don't know. I would like to like I don't know. I need to do more stuff for like my social media. So if someone asked me to like film a video with them
Mhm.
or like something that's not a question, but but to like film a video with them like with something, I'd be so down for that. Like I've been wanting to take some of my friends on like hot laps like around like Snetterton and stuff like that.
That'd be
I think
cool.
it's so fun. And they can ask me questions while I'm
That'd be cool and it'd be good content.
yeah. So I just wanted like I want to do something crazy like that. I honestly don't care who it's with, but I just need to like I don't know. I need to film something with someone. I feel like that would be so fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm at track next year, I'm always
I'll
there.
take you on a hot lap. I'll take you on a hot lap around and you can interview me. You can ask me more questions.
I'm down. Okay, that is actually all the questions I have for now. Yeah. Thank you for joining me on this Laps and Yaps episode.
Yeah, thank you for having me.